Hello, this is Unsung with GameLeap, and in today's video we're giving you the best 8 mid laners to learn. Mid lane as a role has diverse playstyles from melee AD assassins to long-range AP control mages. What matters most here is that you play a champion that you enjoy that is also effective. These 8 picks have been hand-selected to provide easy initial gameplay while scaling with your proficiency as a player. If you're new to mid, this list is a great start, and if you're a mid lane veteran just looking for more champs to add to your pool, this is also the perfect place to be. Let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with our first pick, Orianna. Orianna has always been a solid champion. Even in her weakest state, she is completely capable of single-handedly winning a teamfight with the press of a button. The 4k elo shockwave to this day remains one of the most iconic league plays of all time. Ori's passive grants her quality harass in lane, which is only enhanced by her Q, with huge amounts of burst damage being present on both her W and R as well. She beats essentially everything with lower range than her, with some exceptions of course, and can also go even in her worst matchups. For these reasons, Orianna is a staple of mid lane, and in my opinion is a champion that everybody that has played mid should learn. There is no champion that teaches fundamentals in the game better than Orianna, simply due to how her spacing, her auto attack, and her teamfight presence works. Speaking of iconic plays, Zed is number 2 on our list. Everybody that has played League has seen the Faker versus Ryu Zed 1v1. This play is over 10 years old, and it just goes to show how strong Zed has been since then. Zed has seen every single shift in itemization that this game has ever gone through. He's gone through Armor Pen, to Lethality, to Bruiser, to On Hit, and now to AD Caster Zed. This champion has always been super strong due to how effective his kit is, and he's here to stay because of it. Zed has good harass in lane, he has good all-in potential, he can farm safely, he has high mobility, he's great assassination potential. This champion offers everything that you want in an AD assassin. If you want a high pressure carry, then Zed is definitely the way to go, which is why he makes the number 2 slot on our list. Number 3 on our list has to go to Ahri. This champion has forever been strong in the mid lane. Ahri was League of Legends poster girl for a very long time, and it's obvious as to why. She's attractive, she's fun to play, and she's always been strong for the most part. Even in her weakest state, Ahri has been buffed consistently to be one of the better performers in the mid lane because she has such a devoted and loving audience. This champion is super effective in what she can do. She can be played as a stalemate control mage, you could play her as a high tempo roamer, or you could play her as additional utility with the Everfrost build. Ahri, for these reasons, has to sit at number 3 on this list. If you're ever interested in learning any of these champions more in depth, head on over to GameLeap.com by clicking on the description box below to head on over to the website. I have personally created hundreds of crash courses for players such as yourself to use, so make sure that you go and check them out. Number 4 on our list is going to be Sylas. Unlike Ahri, Zed, and Orianna, Sylas is a more aggressive mid laner. This champion, since his introduction, has been highly problematic for good reason. Sylas's kit is complete without his hijack ultimate spell, but when used effectively, Sylas can turn basically every single game on its head. This champion has fantastic scaling even when he has a terrible matchup. He has the potential of outplaying essentially everybody. He's one of the most frustrating champions to play against if you're not playing a direct counter to him, and will always scale due to how his kit works. Sylas has best-in-class healing, insane damage, good mobility, you name it, he has it. The only real negative to Sylas is that he's a melee champion, but there are plenty of ways to cheat the lane phase and ensure that you will scale on Sylas. So while he does not offer as healthy or as consistent of a lane phase as some of our other picks here, he's definitely the fastest paced, highest tempo AP assassin on this list. Speaking of high tempo, we have champion number 5, and that is going to be Irelia. Irelia is not normally a champion that I would include on this sort of list. She has a very steep learning requirement. Her matchups top lane are incredibly bad, but mid lane offers her some leeway. If you are a low mobility control mage such as Xerath, Orianna, and the like, Irelia has a pretty decent matchup into these champions simply due to how effective her kit is into them. If we're able to dash up a minion and then line up a stun, a normal trade combo that would only remove half of a bruiser's HP will straight up kill these squishy mages. For these reasons, Irelia has to be number 5 on our list. Her kit just works a lot better in the mid lane. She is really effective once we learn how to play her, but her steep time requirement in learning her is why she's held so far back. I would prefer if we had Irelia be a stronger top laner, but since Irelia's rework, she's always functioned better as a mid laner for those reasons. Unlike Irelia, we have Vex. Vex is very easy to play. She has a far more forgiving playstyle. She has a worse matchup into longer range control mages, but does incredibly well against assassins. Vex has high damage spammable wave clear on her Q. She has a good self-peel tool with her W. She has AoE teamfight disruption with her E paired with the Fear, and then her ultimate is one of the best multi-killing tools in all of League. This champion, even with her stubby range, has basically unmatched target access, simply due to the fact that her ultimate is long range and she does get resets from it, which makes her kind of an interesting hybrid between a traditional AP caster and an assassin similar to something like Zed. We can pick a priority target in the backline, dive them with our ultimate, and then blow them up before they're able to react. Next up on our list is Neeko. Neeko, since her rework, has been criminally underplayed. This champion is still in a state of imbalance. Neeko is very overpowered when in the right hands. Her Chameleon passive gives her great target access much like Vex, but in a different way. We're able to sneak into a lot of situations that we shouldn't get ourselves into, pop off an ulti, and then use our insanely high damaging EQ combo to burst even the tankiest of opponents down. This champion has good wave clear on her Q. Her ultimate, much like Orianna, is capable of swinging a teamfight by itself. Her E is one of the strongest basic CCs in the entire game simply due to how long it lasts, and she doesn't really have any bad matchups. Even in her worst matchups, Nico can simply default to clearing the wave, which is always going to be one of the strongest strategies on a mid laner. This cements Nico as one of the best mid laners to learn in the game and ensures that she'll always be an effective champion. And finally, last but not least on our list is going to be Talia. Talia is the absolute queen of mobility denial. This champion succeeds in most cases where mages would not. She is very good against assassins, she's strong against divers, she's great at locking down objectives simply due to her E being one of the strongest area denial tools in the entire game. Talia has a weaker early game than essentially every single mage on this list, but her insanely strong mid and late game more than make up for it. So while Talia might not be the flashiest of champion, she is fantastic for shutting down essentially all mobility options from most teams. If the enemy team ever drafts something like Camille, Riven, and the like, Talia can prevent them from diving the backline. If the enemy mid laner likes to play something like Talon, who has a lot of dashes, then Talia can shut him down by herself. If the enemy AD carry likes to play Vayne or Tristana, it's impossible for them to actually get in the place that they need to be simply due to how effective Talia's E is. So while Talia's E is incredibly good at shutting down mobility, Talia's other abilities are also very strong. Talia's Q is one of the most effective magic damage DPS tools in the entire game. It offers long range, high damage, and a huge slow if we cast it on worked ground. Talia's W is one of the better displacements in the game. We're allowed to use this on basically everybody that gets stunned by her E, or if we have any sort of primary CC, we can keep somebody out of position. Talia's E is strong for all the reasons that we gave before, and Talia's ultimate is also really good in what it can do. You could use it to cut off entire swaths of the jungle, you could use it to secure objectives, and you can also use it to roam. For all these reasons, I think that Talia is worth your time to pick up. Anyways, this was Unsung with GameLeap. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.